We are told the president makes $400,000 a year. That is the math for the public. A salary, a number, something you can calculate over your morning coffee. But there is another ledger, a hidden one. It does not appear on a tax return. It does not appear in a budget hearing. It does not appear in any newspaper you have ever read. The math we are shown is designed to be understood. The math that matters is not. By the end of this video, you will see why the national debt is a distraction and why the shadow portfolio is the real source of global power. Not opinion, math. They say we are broke. Let us do the math they don't do on television. The federal government owns 640 million acres of land. That is 28% of all land in the United States. Not rented, not leased, owned. Now calculate the lithium beneath Nevada. Calculate the oil beneath the Gulf. Calculate the rare earth minerals beneath Wyoming. The math does not say broke. The math says leveraged. There is a difference. A broke man sells his house to pay his bills. A leveraged man borrows against his house and uses the debt to acquire more. The United States does not sell, it borrows. The collateral for that borrowing is not printed money. It is 640 million acres. It is 261 million ounces of gold in Fort Knox. It is the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. It is the electromagnetic spectrum, every frequency your phone uses, licensed by the federal government. The national balance sheet is not a liability statement. It is the largest asset portfolio in human history. The public ledger shows the debt. The shadow ledger shows the collateral. You are only shown one side of the equation. Now we look inside the box. It is called the Exchange Stabilization Fund, the ESF. Most people have never heard of it. That is by design. It was created in 1934. The stated purpose, stabilize the dollar. The actual function, a financial instrument the president can operate without a congressional vote, without public debate, without a press conference. The current balance of the ESF is not publicly audited in real time. It has been used to bail out Mexico's peso. It has been used to stabilize currencies during financial. It has been used to intervene in global markets. All of it without a vote. Let that calculation settle. A sitting president can move billions, potentially trillions, through a fund that requires no public approval. Congress can ask questions. The lid stays shut. This is not a conspiracy. This is the legal architecture of executive financial power. It was built this way. Now, if you think $1 billion tax glitch is a significant number, deliberately, wait until you see the math of the $1 trillion coin, because what comes next is not a loophole. It is the entire frame of the building. The national debt is $34 trillion. That number is used to make you feel afraid. It is working as intended. But here is the equation they do not show you. A country that owes $34 trillion in its own currency is a country that controls the currency in which the debt is denominated. It does not owe gold. It does not owe land. It owes dollars. And it prints dollars. This is the debt paradox. The debt is not a burden the system is trying to escape. The debt is the tether. Every country that holds U.S. Treasury bonds, China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, the European Union, is tied to the American desk. They cannot collapse the dollar without destroying the value of their own reserves. Now calculate the $1 trillion coin. It is a legal mechanism, debated by economists and Treasury officials, that would allow the U.S. Mint to create a single platinum coin and assign it a face value of $1 trillion. Deposit it at the Federal Reserve. The debt ceiling ceases to exist. This is not fiction. This was formally discussed in 2011 and again in 2021. The legal argument holds. The math is not broken. The math was designed this way. A portfolio that controls the world's reserve currency does not need to pay off its debt. It needs the debt to remain. The debt is the product. The debt is the power. You were given a number, $400,000 a year, a salary, a distraction. The real portfolio is not measured in salary. It is measured in land, spectrum, oil, gold, currency authority in the legal architecture of the Exchange Stabilization Fund. It is measured in the debt that 30 nations cannot afford to see collapse. That is not a ledger you calculate over morning coffee. The system is not broken. It is functioning exactly as designed. The math isn't hidden because it's complicated. It's hidden because it's simple. 640 million acres, 261 million ounces of gold, $1 trillion fund with no public oversight, a debt that chains the world to one dusk. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.